So I'm testing out my my proper camera today, so it may not go quite as well as I'd hope, but yeah. So welcome for those who are joining live, and if you're on the replay, welcome as well. I'm going to be building a weekly planner from scratch. A lot of questions relating around Notion is where to get started, and in this stream I'm hoping to answer that by building probably my favorite system that's helped me as a solo business owner with family and tons of other responsibilities to actually just get stuff done and still enjoy my life. And that's kind of the whole purpose of this channel. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into Notion. If the transfer works really well, that'd be wonderful, but it won't, because today's one of those days. But here we go. That's what he's working. Cool. So here we are in the weekly planner. I have two cameras now. This is so wicked. But anyway, so here we have two cameras. So here we have the weekly planner from scratch. And as always, as I say, kind of the purpose of the system is as follows. It's designed to be simple and clear to use. I don't want to have loads of setup and tweaking and things I've got to change and stuff are going wrong and all that nonsense. I don't have time for that. I want it nice and quick and easy to use. The second important thing is I need to be able to update it fast. I need to be able to record my tasks or even just things in my head. Fast, quick, clear, simple. That way, if I get pulled away by my family, I can very easily come back without having to worry about it. Okay, so for those who haven't used Notion before, welcome to Notion. Notion is an app that it works the way you want to. You can create your own workflows and systems, which is a posh word for basically making shit easier to do. So let's start off. The first thing I need to do is I need to create a couple of databases. So think about a database similar to like a Google Sheet or a spreadsheet. That's really, really simple. So I'm going to do that here. You can create different types of tables depending on how big you want them. You can either create them inline or you can create them full page. So an inline database is inline on top of this first page. It's inside of this page. Don't get het up on whether it's inline or not. I'll just create a table now. And for me, I like them on the full page because it just gives me that big full view. So we're going to go table, full page. And we're going to call this one the weekly planner, because that's what we're building. Okay. So we have the name. So I'm going to rename this the week, because this is a weekly planner. I'm going to change each of these properties to be what I want them to be. So I need to see what the date is. So date beginning. And I'll go through each of these as we build out. And then I want to have a main focus. So I'm going to be able to put down a main focus there. Okay, that's what I want to do there. Let's just bring up the chat just in case. Again. We have a main focus. Now this will come in a little bit more use a little bit later on, but we'll see there. And for now, I think that's it. So this is kind of the basic view of how it's going to look. Now we're going to go inside and create a cell or a page inside of this inside of this database. So inside of here, I've created this week, and let's say it is for the 18th to, let's check the date, 18th to the 24th. So this is next week of, where are we? May. Oops. I'm going to go May 18th to the 24th, 2020. Okay, create a new one there. And so you can come in here and click open. So this is all of the planning within this date here. Okay, so come out one here. This is the planner. This is where you see everything. And then inside of here, you've got kind of this structure. Okay. So now I'm in here, I want to think, what do I want inside of this week? What do I need to look at every week? What do I benefit from having? Well, spoilers I already know. We're going to create a heading here by using the hashtag signs. 1 is for a heading 1, 2 is for a heading 2, 3 is for a heading 3. You can go up to 3. And for those familiar with markup, it's the same thing. So I want to be able to take all of the things inside of my head at the beginning of the week and just dump them so I can see them all. So we'll call this the weekly reset. So at the beginning of the week, I want to reset my brain. I want to start from scratch and know exactly what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to call it the weekly reset. Now, I could create another table here, and I'm actually going to create another database. However, I don't like databases. I don't like seeing things as kind of just lists and lists and lists. And if I'm going to be having like 30 or 40 things that I want to do this week, it's going to suck to have them as a long list. Really, it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a board. So this is kind of like a Kanban board, and I'm going to put this one in line for now. And I'm going to name it the weekly reset. Okay. I'm going to delete these cards for now. And so here you've got the different types of statuses. You've got no status, not started, in progress, and complete. This is kind of cool, but not what I want to do for the weekly reset, because when I'm starting my week from scratch, I'm not going to be like putting them in progress bars and places like that. That's no good to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this one, and I'm going to call this Monday or Mun. I'm going to take this and turn it into the days of the week instead. Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to open up a card here just quickly to speed up the process. Let's open this up. We change this from status to day. So you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and weekend for speed. We're also going to get rid of this property here because we don't need it for now. Okay. We're going to keep it like that for now. Bring this back over here. And so here you have your weekly reset. Now this is so squished up, so we're going to come up here. So you'll be able to see as much as you possibly can. Come up to the top right here, style, and I'm going to make it full width, like so. I'm also going to bring the properties, and I'm going to make the card size just a little bit smaller, so I can see everything here in one place. Okay. That's my weekly reset. So that's where I can just list. So at the beginning of the week, I'm going to be like, shoot YouTube video, create, contact, bank, complete client work. All the things in my head that I want to kind of do. And then what I'm going to be able to do here is move it across to different days of the week. And this is just a really, 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 really ridiculously fast way of planning your week. Okay, so we've got our plan here. But if I suddenly have like hundreds of things, I don't know where to start. So how will I know where my focus is? Well, I need to create a focus. What is my number one focus for this week? And that's really important to have some form of focus. So I'm going to create a little bit up here called the weekly focus. Okay. And here I'm going to list out the top 3 things that I want to do. Okay. And so we're going to come in here. Now I'm going to use a block called a call out block, which is kind of one of my favorite blocks. So call out block is designed to make the writing stand out. So this is something that I want to be looking at every single day. So I used a shortcut here to duplicate it really quickly. So I just clicked on here and then used the shortcut Control or Command D. I know people don't like shortcuts, but I promise you, start using your shortcuts inside of Notion and it's amazing what you can do. Here we are. So I've created my top 3 priorities, like so. So as you can see, I've created a little, sure, I'm going to bring that in a bit more. So I've created some simple columns. Now that's really easy to do. So in Notion, everything is built up by blocks. Every single thing you build, whether it be a database, whether it be a page, whether it be text, it's all one, or a horizontal rule, which catches me out so much. I can delete that because I'm in a free account. Each one is a block. And on the free Notion account, you have up to 1,000 blocks for free, which is pretty cool. So what I've done here is I've created some columns. And so each of these blocks, what I've done is I've clicked and dragged them. You can see here these 6 little dots there. Means you can grab hold of the blocks and move them around however you like. Just created another one there, so let's just get rid of that. Okay, so now let's style this to be a little bit more interesting because the eye is really, really creepy. So let's come in here and we have the ability to have emojis, and everybody loves a good emoji. So these are weekly focuses, things I need to do. So let's have a magnifying glass. Can I have a magnifying flying glass? Yes. Perfect. So I'm going to have a magnifying glass. I can't say magnifying glass today. I really cannot. Right, there we go. So I deleted the other ones because otherwise I'm going to have to keep clicking through. To make it easier, I'm just going to duplicate here. Control D again, Control D again. That duplicates this block. Now I'm going to take the little 6 ring thing, drag this way. And that's going to create another column. I'm going to do the same here and create a third column. But it's this way, you can see the little blue line there. It creates a third column there. So that's 3 columns there. And I'm going to resize these as I see fit. Like so. Cool. So what are the top 3 things that I've got to focus on next week? For me, it is get into a good... No. Let's think. What are the big things that you want to work on this week? So I want to do a free webinar on getting started with Notion. As an example. Kind of similar to what we're doing here. I also want to set up Notion Planner. What else do we need to do? Notion Planner. Kids Reward Planner in Notion. That's another thing I want to do. And what else? Release 1 new YouTube video. So this is just an example. You can put anything in here. And the reason why I make this my weekly focus is it means that when I'm looking at the hundreds of things like, you know, script, YouTube video, take out the trash. I don't know. All the things that are in my head that I need to get done, I could just list it. Oh, remove from my system. I don't know. Send update email to newsletter, stuff like that. And the idea is that everything can just be dumped here. The power of Notion is getting it out of your head and into a place where you can see what you're doing. And that is the power of this weekly planner and the weekly reset. So let's just move these around. And then you will take these from the no day and dump them wherever you want. And just spread this out. Like so. Now this looks kind of nice and tidy, and if only it was only one thing at a time that I'd have to do. But let's imagine we have like 15, 20, 30 things that I have to get done, and it will fill this up really fast. I won't do that here. I have a free account. I'll show you in a minute. Well, let's say, for example, that I have something that I'm doing every single week. I don't want to have to keep creating this whole thing over and over again. So let's say we're at the end of the week now, and I want to do next week's plan. So I'm going to do, what's the dates? I don't actually know. Okay. So you've got May 25th to the 31st. This month has gone so fast. Of 2020. Okay, cool. So let's open this page. Oh God, I've got to create the whole thing again. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can come in here, select it all, copy it, paste it, and then you're going to have to tweak everything and move things around and remake everything. But this sucks. Let's be honest, you're not going to do it. You've got more important things to do than copy, paste, and then restructure and move everything around over and over again. Well, I can't be bothered to do that. So I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to press this little button here called Create a Template. Now this is kind of cool. And by kind of cool, I mean really, really cool. So let me show you. Create a template. Now this is the template within my weekly planner. So this template means, well, it's exactly what it says in a tin. It's a template. It's something that's repeatable over and over and over again. So whether I'm doing this in 6 months' time or a year's time, I'll be able to come back and do it again. And that's what this template is. So let's first of all open this template as a whole page so I can see everything. And now I'm going to paste in what I did before. Here we go. And I'm going to get rid of all of the additional stuff because I don't do most of these. I don't do every week. I'm now going to move to fill width again, like so. And then I'm going to tweak this so it looks the same. So let's move this back over. So once again, I'm grabbing this block here, dragging it over, weekly focus, grab this block, dragging it over, dropping it here. Drag it over, drop it here. I'm going to move this one because it's not gone underneath here. So let's just put that there. There we go. This is my weekly focus or weekly planning dashboard. You can call it whatever you want to do it. I normally just put new week because I'm simple, quite lazy. Okay, so and I'm going to remove this copy of because it doesn't need to be like that. So here we are. We now have a template that we can repeat every single week. So instead of having to copy and paste every single week, I can literally create a new week, name it 25th, May 25th to, I can't do math, 31st, 2020, if you want to put 2020, but I'll show you a few optimizations on that one in a minute, because of course I am. I'm going to open this up here. And instead of having to do it all over again, I can just click New Week. And straight away, everything that I created before is already there. But wait, there's even more. So if you can create a template every week, and you have things you do every week, why don't you just put it inside the template? I like your thinking. Let's go do that now. So coming back out of here, I'm going to come down here. So there's another place you can get the template. Click down on this little blue button here, New Week. There are 3 little dots here and click Edit Template. So every week I teach a very small selection of students how to play guitar. And so let's put that in there ready so I don't have to worry about it. So teach student 1. Duplicate that one. And then teach student 2. Ooh. Now, most of the time I teach them on the same days unless something goes wrong. So I'll bring them over to the day I normally teach them, which is a Tuesday. Whoop. Whoop. That means now, every single week I create will have this student, teach student on the Tuesday. I will always see this on there, and it is beautiful. So, what else do I do every week? So, for one of my clients, I go through her account, I go through her Facebook group and add it into her Notion account. So, hi Laura. Here's what I'll do. So I'm doing import posts from Worditude to Notion account. And I like to do that every Monday. So I'm going to drag that on here, put that in there. And so now if we go back to our weekly planner, we come in here, we delete all this for now. I can now click New Week, and as if by magic, already I know what I'm doing on Monday. I'm importing posts from Worditude to my Notion account, to her Notion account. And then on a Tuesday, I'm teaching my students. Okay, So straight away, you can see how quickly you can create this. So inside of your templates now, you can actually start populating things you do every week. Because unfortunately, Notion does not have recurring events. Kinda sucks, but this is a great workaround for now. Okay, so moving on, we're going to come back out now. So this is our weekly planner. Now we have these. Now, as I said before, I hate, and I repeat, hate databases. So I'm going to turn it into a different view. Let's take this data and let's make it look more visually appealing, shall we? Because this is not inspiring. I do not want to look at this, and I do not want to look at it like at all. It just sucks. So I'm going to create another view. I'm going to click up here, add a view. And I'm a very visual person. I'm going to click gallery. And I'm going to turn this into a gallery. So here we go. I now have a gallery for each week. And I'm going to get rid of this table view because I don't want to see a table view. I hate tables. There we go. So, and then inside of here, I can actually see my weekly focuses straight away. Now, whatever you put inside of here, by default, comes up here. But let's say you don't want to be looking at text all the time. You want to make it look a bit more pretty, a bit more visual, a bit more nicer to look at, which I do. I'm going to come up to these properties, and this edits the view for this particular database. So I'm going to come in here, properties, cards, preview, page, cover, and now it's gone blank. Whoopie-doo, lovely. Now we're going to come inside of this week. And as we've had some nice sun, I'm going to turn down the volume just in case. There we go. So, like so. I'll just turn down the volume there. So, inside of here now, I'm going to create a little cover to make it look a bit more visual. So I'm going to come in here. And it's a beautiful sunshine. So I'm going to use Unsplash here. Sunny day. Original as anything, I know. But here we go. So now it's going to change the cover, slowly but surely. There we go. And now if we jump back out to the weekly planner, you'll see a nice visual image there, and it looks lovely. I like it anyway. And you can do the same inside of here. Open it up. Open this page. Add a cover. Change the cover. Go over to Unsplash, and I'm doing a webinar, so I'm going to put webinar. How exciting. There we go. There we are. And so at a glance, I can see that this week was nice and sunny. Not exactly the most useful thing in the world, but meh. And then here you can see that I'm doing a webinar. Okay, let's move one step further now. So we've got some more properties up at the top here. So we've got a date beginning and main focus. Now, I wonder whether we can make that a little bit more useful. So first of all, date beginning. Let's actually make that useful. So we start in the beginning on the 18th. So we're going to click 18th. This is a date property. Now, up to you. You can either have it being just the day that it starts, or you can have dates where you have the entire week. To do that, you come down here and you put an end date. Select that. And then you can have it ending on the 24th, for example. And this shows all the dates there. And that's how we're going to have that there. Beautiful so far. So, that's nice. And now we have the dates. Come in here and do the same thing here. Dates, 25th, and date, 31st. So now let's make it so we can see what these dates are. I know I've got them written up here, but it's useful to see both of them, isn't it? We're going to come up here. Now we can show the properties we want to see. So we're going to come up here, properties, show the dates, like so. So by default, I just name them the days of the week because it's easier and I'm kind of lazy and don't want to have to think about creating my weekly planner. But you can name this or whatever you want. If you have a main focus for the week, for example, you know, getting started webinar, you could put that there instead. I just prefer to do the dates because I'm kind of lazy. So now let's have a look on how we can use this information a bit better. So we have this full page. It's great and all, but still, you could do some more with it, don't you think? So I'm going to come out here. Now, I'm going to open this little sidebar up here. And I'm actually going to create a little workspace here. So the workspace is public, whereas the private is exactly what it says in the tin. It's yours. You can't give it to anyone else. You can't share it with anyone else. But we'll go through kind of sharing on another live stream because that's a whole nother kettle of fish. So I'm going to create a little workspace or a page here. And I'm going to call this resources. And I'm going to take this weekly planner database, which is a nice big database now. It's a full page database, which I created right at the beginning. And I'm going to move it. Now, there's two ways you can do that. You can drag and drop here, like so. Boop, and it's there. Inside of here, see? Weekly planner. And we can clean up this in a minute. I'm going to go in here, weekly planner, and that's here. Lovely and visual, how pretty. But let's say that you want to add more than just your week on there, because most people do, you know? Most people do. Yeah. So to do that, let's say we create like a little home page, like a little control room, as it will. I think I've already created the name for this. So click here, we're going to add a page. So a page is very similar to what you would create in Google Docs or whatever software that you create pages in. And you can add subpages within pages. You can add databases within pages. We'll go through there in a minute. So each time you create something, it is straight away a page. The page can contain lots of things, or it can just contain a database, like with our weekly planner here. So this is going to be our little control room. And so this is where I want to come when I want to, well, do things. So let's start that off, shall we? What do I want to do? What do I want to see? Well, it would be useful to be able to see my weekly routine, what I'm doing this week. So that's a good thing. So I could come in here, take this weekly planner and move it out of resources and bring it into the control room. But perhaps I only want to see what's happening this week and only this week. So let's see if we can copy this into the control room. You can. And that's using something called a relational database. Or a linked database, not a relational. That one's coming soon. It's called a linked database. So we're going to take this and we're going to link it onto the control room here. To do that, we're going to come in here. We're going to click share. Share it with anyone else. We're going to copy the page link. And then we're going to come into our control room, like so. I'm going to create a little title here. Weekly review. Or weekly review for now. Because I've just forgotten what it's called. And then we're going to click paste. Control V. And you see here, there's two things. You've got the dismiss, and you've got create a linked database. This is really cool and one of the most powerful features of Notion. If you learn this and one more thing, it's amazing what you can do. So remember, that weekly review, I love how I'm pointing at the screen you can't see. Well, you can see me pointing at you, but you can't see what I'm pointing at. This here is a link off on another page in Notion. So, create linked database. So now you can see all of this information that is currently stored on this resources page, inside of here, the big one, is now showing up here. But it looks a bit different. Well, that's because the views are separate depending, when you link it in, the views can be changed and twisted and changed and created different views depending on what you're doing and how you want it to be viewed. So let's close the little sidebar now. And once again, I don't like tables. Ugh. And I'm now going to turn it into gallery. Turn it into a gallery again because I like galleries. So now we've got the 2 days of this week that the 2 that I've done, 2 weeks that I've done. Okay, I'm going to rename this planner. And so we're going to come in here, click this button here, just as before, and we're going to edit the properties. So first of all, we're going to have the preview being the page cover again, because I put all that work in, choosing a page cover, and I want to see it again. And we're also going to have the dates to see what the date is, because it's useful. Now, if you want to, you can hide the name if you want to hide that. If you are just using the same information twice, you can hide the name if you want to. I don't bother because it's bigger. Okay, so I have that now. But it's a bit big for me, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change these little cards. So imagine these cards like little post-it notes, which you can have all the information inside and a massive, never like ending post-it note. It's pretty cool. So we're going to go into the properties again and we're going to go to small. And that way it just makes it a little bit more manageable when I'm in the control room. This control room, the purpose of this control room is to make it as quick and as simple to find out what I need to do without having to worry about having everything in there. At the moment, that doesn't really matter, but as we grow out our system, as we add more things in there, like meetings and projects that I'm working on and logistical stuff, I want to be able to come in here and just focus on what's important. And that's the point of the control room. So if the control room is all about being as focused as possible and only seeing exactly what we need at exactly the right time, why have we got another week added on? And if we're going to be adding like another week, like 1st, 7th, so June 1st to the 7th, 2020. This is very quickly going to get quite overwhelming, especially if we have, like, going down the line 3 or 4, you may want to see a month in advance. But sometimes you just need to focus on the one day. So to do that, we're going to come in here and we're going to create a filter. And we're going to filter this down to view the week, the day that is within the next week. So that means we've set the date is within the next week. And that way we only see the weeks that is upcoming, the next week. So it will show the 18th, like so. So that's that. And then that filters that down. Now that makes it kind of cool because we can do lots of different things with these filters and do so many more advanced things if you wanted to. Now we've got a new view here. So I want to kind of remove this extra view that we've created. And you can delete this untitled view here because I named them really well, you see. I'm going to delete this with the 3 dots, press delete. Remove. Now this only removes the view from here. Each kind of time you like link this database, they have their own views and you can create multiple different views depending on what you want to see. So let's say, for example, I want to see the next month's worth and be able to see that from the same control room. So there's 2 ways of doing this. We could literally embed again by pasting the link and then creating another view. Gallery, because we love the galleries. Actually, no, let's share another view. Let's say you wanted to see a list of your next couple of weeks at a glance. So let's do that this time. So we're going to add a view and we're going to add a list. So now we have all of of this week, which is fine for now, but we may want to make this a bit easier. So, and also I've noticed that they're not in date order. That's a bit of a pain in the backside. So let's do that. Coming over here, 3 dots. We're now going to sort. Click the sort, add a sort, and then we're going to put dates ascending. So now we have 18th, 25th, and then June 1st. We have all those dates there. Now, if you don't want to see the dates, you can come in here and we can edit these properties. Remove the date. Okay. But I want to see them because it wouldn't make no sense to not have them there. Excellent. So that's that there. And now we need to only see what's coming up. I don't want to see, like, duplicate the same week because that would be unhelpful. So we're going to see properties. No. We're going to add a filter now. So 3 dots. Filter. Add a filter. Dates is after 1 week from now. So as it's a weekly planner, every week it will vanish and show the next week. So now I only now have the 25th to the 31st and the 1st. Now I have that different view. That's one way of doing it. That's one way of doing it. But there's a better way, or a more succinct way. If you want to see this separate out, you can see it separated like so. But let's do it another way now. We're going to add a view to the same kind of database link, this linked database. So we're going to do add a view, and we're going to do a list. We're going to name this view next week. I don't know, not a very good name, I know. Sorry. And it's created a list for me. Beautiful. So I've come down here, created a list. You can click whichever one you want, and you can then edit that view. So if you want to see it as a table, you can see it as a table. You can see it as another gallery if you want to. Or you can see it as a list. And now you have a next week view. Now let's change this one now. Now that we've created a new view, we can edit the original view. We click this button here, and we're going to call this week. And so now we have the ability to switch between the same data, the same information with multiple views. Now, I now need to fix this filter. So to do that, we're going to come in here, the filter there, same filter. Come over here, filter, add a filter, dates, is on or after 1 week from now. And now we need to edit this again and move things around a little bit. So I'm going to come over here, 3 dots again. We're going to sort this again, have it nice sorted so it looks good. Go from week, change it to dates, and ascending again. So we've now got May 25th to the May 31st, and we have June 1st to June 7th. And that's all ready for you and set up, ready for you to have tons of fun. There we go. But I don't like that. So I'm now going to change this from a list into a gallery because I love the gallery. And once again, you can set up however you want it to look by just popping into the properties. Pop in the properties. I just like that. I'm going to change it from page content to page cover and have it like that. So it's now a page cover. Cool. So if you're here live with me now, which is unlikely because I decided to go live at the last second, but oh well, let me know what questions you might have, or you can let me know in the comments below because that's really helpful, and then I can create more streams where I share an idea and just help you get started set up in Notion, because that's my plan. The idea behind every system I create is pretty simple. It's to create a system fast and friction-free, so that you can go back to spending time with your family, your friends, or just sitting playing Animal Crossing, which is probably what I'm going to do pretty soon. So we've got to create our weekly planner here. And I can't find my mouse. I need to find my mouse back again. So what else could we add to this weekly planner? Let's say we're working on some projects. So something that has a deadline. So maybe it's client projects or a meeting. What about meetings? Everyone has a meeting nearly every week. So you could create something for meetings. So let's do that, shall we? First of all, I'm going to go to full width because I just like looking at it full width. I don't know why. I just do. So yeah, let's look at that full width. Coming in here. And we're now going to create a meetings. Meetings. I'm going to bring this out. Now, I could create this from within my control room just by using the / table or however database you want to put it as. You could do that. That works. I would suggest that a more powerful way is to put it back in that page we created earlier, the resources page. You can come in here and I'm going to create another full page. And we're going to have it as a table again, because I like table. Well, no, I don't like tables, but I'm going to have it as a table because it's easier to look at. The reason why you put it in the resources rather than actually inside of the control room is because being able to easily access and change things and bug fix is better if you have it all within one space. So I have this in my resources little section. You can have it in like a data folder, but resources, because it's resourceful and it's helpful, is what I call it. You call it whatever you like. You can call it Fred if you like. No, resources is much more helpful. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to name my table. I'm going to call it meetings. So what do I need to see in a meeting? What do I need to do? What do I need to have? So I obviously need to have meeting topic. Can I have a meeting topic? And then we need to have who it's with. Now for now, we're going to put that as a text. So, and then let's have a date. So date of meeting. And let's explore a couple of these little columns now. So each of these columns is a different property. So these are different kind of things you attach to each of the information inside of here, into each kind of like cell. So let's add a couple of columns and we'll go through some of the things you could add. We've got a text column, which is very simple. It's just what it says in the tin. It's text. Then we have a number column. So this can be like currency, percent, dollars, pounds. Yes, for the UK, there is pounds. We still exist. Then we have a select, which is being able to choose from a certain list. So it's kind of like a drop-down list, and you choose one item for that. That's kind of perfect for things like when you're getting started, like a progress. So it's not started, it's in progress, and it's finished. That's a good one. Then you have kind of like a multi-select. So that's for what you can use for things like tags. When you want to be able to filter by tags, you can use the multi-select. Then date, we've already done date. It's very self-explanatory. So it's just adding an actual date with options to format them. So if you're in the UK, you can set them as a UK, and then you've got US, and you can set it to relative time and everything. It's just pretty cool. Then you've got person. So if you have like a group of people, or people as part of your team, you can set it as a person. So the person who needs to look at this, you can assign it to someone. Files and media, oops, files and media, my mouse is moving. Files and media is where you can upload files and media. Pretty self-explanatory. So that means you can link a file, a PDF, an audio file, an image, any form of media you can attach to this entry. Checkbox, nice, simple, true, false. Is this thing active? Is it done? Perfect for when you've completed to-dos. Then below here, we have a URL. So if you want to link to a page, you can do that. Email, perfect for when you, for example, here in a meeting, the email of the person you're speaking to. So let's actually add that one in while we're here. So we're going to call this person's email. This is probably the worst explanation ever. So their email. Come in here. And then you have a formatting of what their email is. hello@thisismyemail.com. Beautiful. delete that extra row there. Then you can come in here and you can just click this, and then you can actually send them an email itself. Just checking to see everything is actually working perfectly, because I just don't want it to disappear. So that's an email. So person's email. I can't think of a better name. And then you could have, we're going to add a link now. So let's say as I'm doing this, we are still in lockdown. So having the URL for your Zoom link would be really useful. So Zoom link there. And then you can also have just a text format with Zoom password as an example. There we are. Oh. So. And then you can resize these as you like. I'll put date there. Resize them to make it as easy as possible to access, etc., etc. And there we go. So you have these meetings now. Let's open this up. So what do we want from a meeting? So if we're doing a video meeting, let's create a template for the video meeting. So as before, it's a new template we're creating here. So we're going to have a video call. And because it makes it easier to view, because I can see us having lots and lots of meetings in here as you kind of have more meetings, it'd be good to see things at a glance. So I like to add a little icon here. We're going to set this as video. That works. So inside of here, we'll create our template. So we're now inside the meetings template. It's going to come in here, open this up. And first of all, we want to put video. So like, yeah, let's do kind of video meeting. Oh, call recording. That's a better way, isn't it? Call recording. I'm going to come down here. So that was a heading again. Like I said before, I've created the heading. To do the heading, it's just as many hash signs, pound signs, sharps, if you're musical, that you like. I have 2, and you can change them at any time. So if you want 3, if it's too big, you can do that. Simple things. Let's close this. So call recording. So as part of Notion, one of the blocks is a video block. So you can actually embed videos. Now that can be embedded from a YouTube, or it can be embedded, like directly uploaded. If you have the paid personal account, you can have unlimited amount of information stored there. So let's do video. So to open up a block and to create a new block, you've got the commands. So to do that, it's the /, and we're going to embed a video here. So you're going to video embed from YouTube. So here you can either embed a link or you can upload a link. I'm just going to leave it like that. If you're on a free account, you can only upload up to 5 megabytes. If you have a paid account, this is just a free test account here, you can have a bigger one. So that's that. We're not going to embed anything now because this is just the template. And then we're going to have a little section to be able to write notes. So 2 notes. Once again, 2 sharps, and you're done. And now we're going to introduce another kind of text formatting, as you've got the ability to have bullet points, which are beautiful and really good for notes. So to do that, you put the hyphen and then you just put a space. You can also, if I'm not mistaken, I swear I saw this yesterday. Yeah, you can do a star, if you're not an @ a star, space, that works as well. But I like to use the hyphen because it's fast and simple. And then if you want to be able to add multiple bullets, but you don't want to write anything, if you press enter now, you would have seen just a minute ago, it disappears. So what I do is I put the first one and it says list, and then I use that Control D shortcut that I had earlier, which duplicates. So Control or Command if you're on Mac, D, do it again, D, D. You can do that if you like or not. I just like to make it look as pretty as possible. So, and then we're going to come down here and we're going to introduce one more thing. Next steps. the end of a meeting to make it worthwhile. We want to have a next steps. We want to be able to track to see what happens. If I'm told to do something in my meeting with a client or told that I need to do something, I can add these in as my next steps. And I'll show you how cool that's going to be when you relate it to your weekly routine. This is wicked. So to start off with, it's going to be just creating quick notes. I'm going to create some to-do checklist, to-do ticky-tickies, ticky-tickies, professional language here. Okay, so to do that, you've got the 2 square brackets. You do the left one, open and then close, and it turns into a to-do. Same thing again, duplicate, duplicate, and there you have your own little meeting template. Now, you can add anything you want here. If you have kind of, if you have your personal Zoom link, which you use all the time, you can have that there, zoom.us/ lots of lovely numbers. Do not click that. I don't know what happens with that. It probably wouldn't even work because there's too many numbers. And you can set your password. And there we go. So inside of here, you have now everything you need, but there's a few things we could do. There's actually a load of things we can do, but we won't go too far. So now we have these kind of meetings. Now, what I'd like to be able to do, stop it. There we go. So I have my calls here. Wouldn't it be really wicked? So I'm going to create a video call now. There we go. Isn't that nice? Okay, and now I have the ability to embed the recording afterwards, make some notes, and do next steps. And I can actually share this with anyone who I have meetings with, and they can rewatch the recording. If you have a paid Zoom account, or upload it, or whatever you want to do, you can watch this and look back at it and make notes afterwards. So that means you don't necessarily have to be in the moment of the meeting and start typing all the time, which as you can tell, I have a really loud keyboard. So let's make this even better now. So this is kind of cool. Wouldn't it be, let's just put meeting with Jim Bob. My kids will love that. Wouldn't it be great though, if instead of the date, we could link it in with here. So I have a meeting coming up and I want to put it inside of here. This is where things kind of get a bit cool now. So we're going to add another property and we're going to look at meetings. Meetings this week. Now, of course, I could come in here and just put meeting with Jim Bob, like so. But then I have to remember, and I just don't have the time or the patience. I want to be able to connect things together, and then I have to come in here and go down and look at, you know, linking together with all the other meetings and things like that. And also, another way I could do it is I could come in here and create another section. I could embed the meeting tracker inside of this weekly planner. So we're going to come in here, just going to come in here, go into meetings, share, copy page link. Now that's really quite slow and a bit annoying. So let's do it a bit quicker this time. This is going to be my meeting tracker. This time I'm going to use / and we're going to type in linked. And this is going to do the exact same thing as what I've just done, except it's a little bit faster. So we're going to go create linked database. And we can come in here and we're going to find the right database. So we're going to look for meetings. I'm going to type meetings. And there it is, meetings, resources. And so now we've done the same thing as what we've done up here, except this time it's down here. And once again, we have it in the icky, horrible, that view. I don't know that view. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to turn it into, I'm going to use a gallery again, because I just like galleries. But this time, I don't need to see everything and I want to keep it quite small. So here's a little thing to make it like a little pill size. I'm going to go into properties again. And we're going to go card size small and page content as none. This means I just see the meeting. Now, this is probably not very useful. So I want to see what the date is as well. So I'm going to come in here, properties, and I'm going to show the date, which cleverly, I didn't put the date in. So I'm just going to quickly bung a date in. I'm going to say this is next week. There's a reason why in a minute. And now we can see this meeting. So at that point in the day, so we come in here. Oh, lovely. Beginning of the week. Oh, I actually have the wrong date on here. It's the 25th. Okay. So brilliant. I have a meeting with Jim Bob today. It's the 25th today. I've come in, I've set up my weekly reset and I've done all that and that's all brilliant. I'm going to come in here and I can and get ready for that. However, you're not going to just have one meeting in here, really. You're going to probably have, as you build your system, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, become more and more of a pain in the ass to manage. So wouldn't it be great if we could link the meetings into the week that we're working on it? And with Notion, you can do that with something called with one of these little functions here called a relation. We're going to link together and create a relation between the weekly planner and the meetings. I'm going to come in here. We're going to select a database. So let's just come back in here and we'll rename that. So we're going to come in here where, actually it's already been created. Let's delete that one. So we're going to take this meetings this week. So I'm going to put meetings. And I'm going to change this from a text property to something called a relation property. And this kind of gives the ability of connecting the two together. So we're going to do that now. So relation. And we're going to select the database. We're going to search for meeting. And we're going to create a relation. And so right now it doesn't look like nothing's changed. But if we come down here and click here, you'll see that this little thing's has popped up on this little meeting with Jim Bob. And it says, related to weekly planner meetings. Now I'm going to rename this to a more handier thing called week. A week planner. And now what I'm going to do, as this is on the 25th, I'm going to link this up here to the 25th. Like so. And now I'm going to use the control or command, if you're on a Mac, left bracket, and I'm going to move backwards. So I can come here. And now you'll see meeting with Jim Bob has been pulled in to this database. So this means if at the beginning of the week, which is what I do at the beginning of the week, I look at my Google Calendar, come in here and just type out the meeting. So I've got meeting with Craig. Update call with Laura. And because it alliterates, meeting with Mars. Hi, Mars. And so now all of a sudden I can see all of these meetings that I have during the week. And they're all filtered up here and I can just see them at a glance. And as I scroll down here, I can see all of these meetings have now populated here. Now that's cool and all, but if I go back to, let's say, the Getting Started webinar of this week, and I'm going to say, meeting today, meeting with Fred. And so now we have a meeting, and we're going to say that this meeting is today, no, tomorrow, because who doesn't work Sundays? Okay, we have a meeting tomorrow. Now, if we go back to our control room here, and then back into this one, you'll notice that this meeting is down here now. Now, that's not very useful. I don't want to see all of the meetings I have. I just want to see the meetings that I have on this week, on the May 25th to the 31st. So you can probably guess what we're going to do here. We're going to create another filter. I'm going to come in here, filter, add a filter, and then we're going to set the week planner to this one, the 25th to the 31st. And that will now have it so that only the meetings on the 25th are attached here. So we have Craig's meeting here. Because it was planned on the 25th to the 31st, that's where it's going to be. And you'll notice that none of the other events are there. I'm just going to get rid of this other one. It's always good to clean up your systems as you build them. Please, take it from experience. Now, okay, this is pretty cool. But let's say I forgot, like I have here, to edit the date and add them in. Now, I don't always want to just keep going, open it up, add the date. What's this one? 25th, 26th, you know, that just takes a lot of time. So here's a little shortcut. If you hover over one of your little cubes or squares or whatever you want to call it, entries, right click, edit property, date. And now you can assign a date depending on how you want it to be. Added the May 27th. And then here, date, and I went on the 28th here. Busy, busy person. So now we have dates for everything. Wouldn't it be great if you could view this like a calendar? You can. Come in here, add a view, calendar. And turn it into calendar view. Here we go. Now, once again, we have all of our meetings listed out, which isn't very helpful. So let's fix that. I'm going to come in here, 3 dots. I'm going to add that filter again, add a filter. Week planner contains the 25th to the 31st. And so now we will only see our meetings for this week, and that's it. And we'll be able to balance it around. Now, as of the time of this live stream, you cannot officially link out to your Google Calendar, but when the API is released, which Notion are working on, as they've said, you'll be able to do stuff like this in the future. But for now, it's a great way of just being able to see things in different views. And so using these views, you can see your information in a way that works best for you. So I personally like this view. Whatever view you want it to be, you can have it at whatever view you want it to be. That's your meeting tracker. So here we are, we've linked our meetings together with our week. And every single week we have that meeting. So we've made quite a few changes now to our template and our system and making it a bit more optimized for ourselves. So let's optimize this and make this even better, because I'm all for making things better. We're going to copy this, and we're going to come back out to our weekly planner, and we're going to edit our template that we made originally, this new week. We're going to edit in here, pull this out, and as you can see now, the meetings are here. That property has been added to the whole entire database, not just one thing. When you add a property, it is added everywhere. So your properties are designed to be things you want to see everywhere, and then everything inside of it is kind of more specific. I'm going to come in here, and now we're going to paste this meetings thingamy tracker mabob. Now, problem here is the filters are filtered to the 25th, but I don't really want it to filter to just the 25th. I'd love it if you could automatically filter every single week you create it. Thanks to a very new update, you now can. So I'm going to come in here, filter, and week planner contains, we're going to click on here, and we're going to set it to new week, which is the name of the template. Okay, so the name of the template here is new week. I'm going to set it to the name of the template. I have a filter, new week. And this means that whenever you create a new week, it will set a filter based on that week that you've created. Sounds very complicated, but I assure you it's not. So let's go back into the 25th again. And we're going to just come in here and we're going to delete the whole lot, because I am mad. Not really. And I'm now going to click new week again. And now you will see automatically, if we click this filter button again, you can see it says contains May 25th to the 31st, 2020. And that's because the thing we just did was link it directly. When we click the template, off it goes, pre-populates with the correct date. Thrilling, exciting, probably not, but I love it. So, what else could we add? There's too many things. So, that's how you add the meetings. And inside of here, you can create as many different templates as you like, and each template can be related to whatever you want it to be. So let's come back in here. Look at our weekly reset. We've hit the end of the week now. What a fast week that was. And we're kind of done for the week, but all of these things are still here, and that's not making us feel great, is it? So we're going to come back into here and we're going to add a new property. And this property is done. Nice and simple. And earlier I mentioned the checkbox. It's time to bring that in. Checkbox. And so we're going to also make it so that you can see the checkbox, because then you'll be able to tick it off whenever you like. So come up here, 3 dots, properties, and then we're now going to show the done. So here you go. In the properties, it means you can view certain properties at a time. We're going to turn on done, which is pretty cool. I've turned on done now, and we're done. No, we're not really. So I've done my import for this week. So I'm going to click done. Oh, nothing's done. Nothing's happened. It's not changed. I want it to disappear. So we're now going to create a filter. I'm going to come over here. Filter. Add a filter. When something is done, when done is true, we don't want that. That's not very helpful because, yeah. So when done is unticked, show it. Otherwise, it's hidden. So now as we come in here, I've completed this, done. Complete this, done. Ah, fantastic. I can sit and play Animal Crossing for the rest of my day. I've got all my tasks done this week. And combining this with our multiple views, you can then create any type of list. So let's say we want to list all of our done things. We don't need to see what day they were done, etc., etc. We just need it to be just showing the done stuff. I'm going to come in here and I've created a little list here. 3 dots, properties. We probably could do with a day, actually. Do that. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to add a filter. Add a filter. Go down to done is ticked. Like so. Properties. And yeah, we'll have the day there as well, so you can see what things you've done on the day. But if you don't want to see that, it's very simple to change. Properties, remove that. And you just have this list of done tasks, like so. Like so. And now you see nothing. And then if you want to celebrate and have a bit of a party and see all the things you've done, you can have these as your done tasks and listed as so. So there we go. That is the weekly planner. Now I'm going to come back in here. Weekly planner and the control room. Ah, it's not yet. Not done yet. Not quite. Go to here a minute. Where's the page cover? It's just the pages that aren't loading the covers. Oh, anyway. So one thing to be aware of with your templates, if you haven't already preset an image, it will overwrite that image. It will remove the cover. So let's have our cover back on again. We're just going to stick with these nice coloured covers now, just because it's quicker. There we go. I don't know what that is all about, but it's going to work. So now we're going to bring in our meetings again. Now I do want to see all of my meetings now, which would be really helpful. So let's go back into linked. I'm going to go meetings. And we pulled in all of our meetings, which is fine for now because we're in our control room and I want to see all my meetings. So it'd be really useful actually to see it in a gallery, in a calendar. So let's switch to the calendar view, like so. And now I'm going to see all the meetings I've got soon. Let's just get rid of this first view because we don't need it. There we are. And now we can see all of our kind of meetings in this little view. Now, this is very big and can get quite overwhelming. I kind of want to be able to see this, but only when I want to see it. So there's 2 ways of doing that. One is to click here, 3 dots, and you can use this, turn into page. Now this page will be a linked database of a linked database. Bit complicated, but bear with me. So this is a view of the original database, which is here. Don't worry about it. Just know that this is a custom page with the custom view. But that involves another click, and I don't like other clicks. I like to make it as quick and as easy and as effortless as possible for me to do it. So here's what I do. It's just turn that back in line. Into line. I'm going to come down here and click here, and I'm going to add a toggle. A quick way to create a toggle is to use the more than sign. I think it's more than. I always get these two mixed up, but the arrow going that way, and then click space. And then I'll title it meetings, like so. And then I come in here, I open up my toggle, and anything inside of here, when I close this up, will disappear. So I drag this up here, drag and drop. You can see the little blue highlight around the outside. Drag and drop, let it go. And quite literally, I could do this. Boop. So now I don't have to see that. And in fact, I could just get rid of this completely and just have something else like that. And that's how you would create a meeting little toggle view. So you can have this toggle view on everything. You can go absolutely toggle nuts. I do. So this is kind of the basic outline of the control room. Still looks a bit plain, but obviously you can embed lots of other things like images, you can embed videos, you can have quotes. There are lots of things you can do. You can make this control room your own. So let me show you my control room. Come up here. Very, very simple. Very, very minimalistic, very, very easy to use. This is my control room. Actually, I haven't done that one. Use this one. I call mine my home base. I'm in the process of transferring over to a control room, but yeah. This is one more thing that I've added into mine. So I have my unique virtues, things that I love to do. And then I have universal virtues of gratitude, hope, zest, curiosity, and love. These are the things that I want to bring into my life every single day. And below that, I have my big threes. These are the 3 things that I want to do, or as much as I can. I want to build my community. I want to fast launch a ton of stuff in 12 weeks. I'm actually going to change this. And I want to always be creating something new. And then here you can see that my weekly dashboard is actually here, week at a glance, like so. And I can open this up. And I have a few other things embedded in mine, which is kind of cool and exciting. So, first of all, I have my week beginning as I had before. I have my main focus. And I have the calls I had this week. And I also kind of, because I'm a bit of a nerd, I have something called a roll-up, which takes one of these relational databases and squishes them together. Now, they can either roll it up with certain different properties or views. So you can roll up the name if you just want to count how many there are. And then you can set it as count all. And this is really useful if you want to just see at a quick glance how many calls you have from your front page. Oops. There you go. Then here, I have a little quick glance formula. I am not covering formulas in this one because it's a little bit advanced. And then here, when I'm done and finished with what I'm doing, if I don't need to look at this, I just click this archive please button. And then on my dashboard, it doesn't appear anymore. And I don't have to look back at it ever. Aha. Then here I have a working on. And this links to another database. It's a relational database to projects that I'm working on. So projects is kind of things that you're working on that have a fixed deadline and have an outcome. And so that's what I have all my projects on. So when I'm doing a video or doing a workshop with someone or doing something with someone, I have a project for them. But we'll cover projects in another live stream. And then as you saw in my virtues, one of my biggest virtues is my love of learning, and I love to learn. And so I actually have a whole template and database dedicated to online learning. So as you can tell, I have just launched a YouTube channel, and I'm currently taking this 30 Days to a Better YouTube channel by video creators. That's really good. And below that I have my books. So these are books that I'm reading, that I've read this week. I haven't actually been reading this week. I'm going to fix that. And then I have, as similar to the template, we have the weekly focus, things that I want to do this week. I've done most of these actually. And then I have my weekly brainstorm. Now I have a few extra little templates inside of here, things that I do, client work, I teach, a call, or a project I'm working on. this is just more templates with a little visual, little symbol there to help you. So that's how I do that. And then I have my active project list. So the project list is just a big database with relations put together. And these are the things that I'm working on this week, which I assign at the beginning of the week on working on, or if I start doing them, I start doing them. Then once again, I have calls with all the people I have calls with, tracking and filtered down based on what the week is. And then I have other projects that are kind of in my periphery, things that I want to be working on, but I haven't done yet. Pardon me. They're all here. So this is kind of a more advanced version of the weekly dashboard. So that's it for this live stream. Thank you for sticking with me the whole time. It was awesome to kind of share with you how you can build from scratch. I will be creating a kind of summarized version of this. I will be editing this pretty much immediately after I finish. Press the stop streaming button, and I will be uploading this. If you want to learn more about the templates I created in this one, you can look in the links below. There's a couple of links. I'm actually going to be releasing this template for use, an advanced version of this template. That can be, which has all the connections already pre-done for you, so you don't have to do any of the work, and so that you can just concentrate on building your business and living your life. So thank you very much for joining me today, whether you join me live or whether you joined me in the replay on the streamy thingy. I don't know the term, but thank you very much. If you have any questions, please, please, please leave it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, I'm going to be doing more of these over time, as well as some shorter, easier to digest videos. Please subscribe. It'd be meaning a lot. I'd love to get to 100 subscribers. It's really helpful. And then I can name it something other than a shiver blah, 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 blah. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, right below, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.